grateful.
Can we have, oh, sorry.
Oh, we are live. So we are live on YouTube with another collaborative conversation. I am Latricia Penny. This is Mrs. Geneva McMillan. Um, love this girl. Well, this woman who has been doing some amazing things through some trials. And and I know every day is a new day, and so I'm just grateful that I know you. I must still go ahead and say that, because I already know that the stars are aligning for your highest and greatest good always.
You've always said that to me ever since I've known you, and that sticks with me. That
Hmm.
statement right there has stuck with me these past 11 years. So thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Usually people kind of trickle in. And then what tends to happen is it'll take a minute, then it posts, and I send it to you so you can do what have you. I am learning once again, like I said, from your link tree. I say, oh, I got a link tree. I don't think I've been using that thing right.
Well, Miss Penny, if you ever have any content questions or social
Hmm.
media related questions, my DMs, my phone is always open. Like you at the
Kind
front of the line. So hit me up anytime with any questions. I get a lot of questions from people, but I got you. So just let me
yeah,
know however I can
yeah.
help.
So we're gonna get started, and we're just gonna start out with tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, tell everybody else. I know a little bit about you already, about all of the many things that you do, because your list now is a little bit more extensive as far as all of the things that you kind of got your hand a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. So, hello everyone. My name is Geneva McMillan, and I like to describe myself as a warrior. I have
Hmm.
survived a lot of things. I've survived a lot, and you have been a witness to a
Yes.
lot of that. I've survived a lot, but I feel like I've turned a lot of those things into something meaningful. I am the founder of My Path to Peace, which has recently transitioned into a nonprofit. And
Okay.
basically, what we do is we provide resources for grieving families. So, if you are dealing with loss, we
Hmm.
are here to support you however we can. Funeral assistance, if you just need an ear, any way
Hmm.
that we can support the bereaved, I'm here to do it because I know how my journey was. I am a content creator. I hate using that word. I'm more of like a memory capturer. Is that the word? Love
Uh-huh.
capturing memories. I love
Hmm.
getting footage of people of my journey. I love
Hmm.
documenting my journey to show others how I'm getting through. I am a homeschool mom. I've been homeschooling my daughter since last year, February of
Hmm.
last year. Next month will be a year.
Wow.
Absolutely love it.
Hmm.
I own a few businesses. I help my husband run his construction business. I have a notary business. I do a
Hmm.
lot. I do a lot. I wear a lot of hats, and I don't realize how much I do until I speak it out loud. But
Right.
I wear many hats. I'm here to
Hmm.
serve. I love being a pillar of support for people,
Hmm.
and that's a little bit about me.
Well, once again, that is a lot. So,
Also a digital marketer. So if anybody needs help marketing their business, their product, I
mhm.
can plug you in on that too. So yes, that's me.
Okay. So one of the things that I would like to say, just on as I've seen your content, you've allowed all the parts of yourself to be seen. So
Yes.
whether it's content related, whether it's personal related, whether it's the homeschool journey, whatever the journey is, and always been like a kind of a ray of light around things. You've been extremely inspirational, motivational, been an example of, you know, even with all of the stuff, you still just kind of get it done.
Got to. I have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
We
So,
don't have any other choice. We don't have any other choice. We always have to. And there's been so many women that have
hmm
come before me, you included, who I've seen do that. And so
hmm
I pull strength from y'all. I'm like, okay, mama them did it. Auntie them did it. They all did it. So I got to do it too. And just in a different way, in a more
hmm
evolved way.
Right.
So yeah, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be who I am and do all those things that I've been doing.
Yeah, because like I said, it's been a lot, and I get to see so many different things. 'Cause sometimes with some people, you may notice just one or two things or what have you, but to see that you hit on all of the things and have always been encouraging to others, and I think that's been your spirit since I met you. Of even when things were tough, you still was encouraging other people.
That's how I knew that was my gift. Thank you so much, by the way. But that's how I knew it was my gift, because no matter what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, I always got a
Hmm.
word for somebody. Always.
Hmm.
Like, I could be in
Right.
shambles. My life could be in shambles. It's been several times I posted content encouraging others, and then I'm
Mhm.
over here crying. And I share that too. I'm very
Right.
transparent about my journey. So thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
saying that. I really appreciate it. And I need to hear that sometimes too.
Yeah, it's making a difference. I think the thing that I've noticed, what someone said, one of my friends told me, is like you never know exactly who you touch with what you do,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
not everybody is gonna like it, not everybody is gonna comment, but it doesn't mean that you haven't made an impact.
Oh, so true. So true.
Yeah, one of my friends
So
told me
true.
that like within this past week, and I was like, oh, okay, because sometimes I think when you do certain things, you don't know what it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be or what have you, but you just do it because you know that you're supposed to. And
Absolutely.
was it Dion Ebe said
Deani,
yes?
oh, my friend, that's my girl from TikTok.
Yeah.
That's one of my TikTok sisters. Hey girl.
Okay. Yeah. She said yes. Very encouraging. I don't know if you can see the comments
Yeah,
at the bottom.
comment down there at the bottom. Okay, so we can see the comments. Cool.
Hmm. Yeah. And so if you all have any questions or anything as we're going along, you can also post that during the comments.
Yes, please do.
Okay. So the next question, if you were a book, what would the title of your book be and why?
That's funny you asked that, because a long time ago, I
Hmm.
had this book idea, this book title idea. I haven't done it yet, but it was going to be titled Indomitable. So the
Hmm.
word indomitable, if you all don't know, it means impossible to subdue or defeat. And I
Okay.
feel like that's me. I feel like no matter what I've been through throughout my life, I might get knocked down, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
always come back up swinging. I'm gonna always
Right.
come back up with more knowledge, more wisdom, and I alchemize my pain now. I know how to turn it into something powerful. So if I
Hmm.
were a book, it would be titled Indomitable. And I might actually still do that. It might be later on down the road. That's gonna be my real book, my thick chapter book. But
Uh-huh.
that's it, Indomitable.
Okay, because we did not mention you were listening that you were an author as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. See, I do so much, I can forget what I do.
Listen, and look here.
The daddy from Everybody Hates Chris. Yes, that's me. That's my second book, y'all. Rebirth. I was gonna plug myself in at the end, Miss Penny. Don't worry.
Okay, listen, because we're gonna put it out in the comments. And Bayla is joining us as well, and she's like, "Neva, you're so pretty."
I was gonna ask you before you went live. I was gonna
Uh-huh.
ask you how she was doing. So I'm glad to see her in the comments. Hey girl, she's
Yeah,
grown now, ain't she?
right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna have to catch up offline. We're gonna have us a
Right.
girl. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So and that's a great title, and it definitely applies to literally your life. So that is if anybody don't come up swinging like what.
Always, always
Right.
about that. So yes, it would be titled Indomitable. Y'all be on the lookout for that in the next decade.
Okay. I mean, because sometimes it does take a little bit of time, and who knows? Like, who knows? You say a decade, it may or it may be sooner than you think,
That is
because
very
sometimes when things are spoken, they just start kind of having a life of their own and shape into a certain way.
that is so true. So true.
Yeah. So can you think of someone or something that over a short period of time has had an impact or influence over you, over your life?
It's hard to narrow down just one thing.
Okay, your
So when
top three.
Okay, top three. First of all, I've had so many earthly angels who have come in and assisted me on my journey. You included. You
Mm-hmm.
included. I've had so many earthly angels, so that's one. I can't narrow it down to one earthly angel, but I've
Yes.
just had a plethora of earthly
Mm-hmm.
angels that have come in to assist me on my journey and guide me to my highest
Right.
self. But I
Mm-hmm.
would say my son Keon, and my daughter Naima, those two have
Mm-hmm.
they pushed me to my purpose. They've pushed me to understand what I'm here on this earth for. And it's funny because I didn't want kids back in the day. I was supposed to be the auntie to everybody
Uh-huh.
else's kids. And then I started
Mm-hmm.
having kids of my own. So I would say my son Keon and my daughter Naima. And for those who are listening, my son Keon passed away 10 years ago. March will be 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And his passing, it was the most devastating thing I've ever been through, but it's changed my life in so many ways. Going through that grief and trying
Mm-hmm.
to navigate through life without my child, it's opened up so many, it's just opened up so much in my soul that I don't think ever would have happened if I never would have been through that loss. You and I never would have met if I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go through that loss. So my kids have been so impactful to me, and my earthly angels here on earth.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What are some of the qualities that you find important in your friendships and your relationships?
Open communication. We got to
Mm-hmm.
communicate. We got to tell each other what's going on. And that's something that I am growing into. And because I used to wouldn't say nothing, I just be quiet. And in the back of
Uh-huh.
my mind, I'm like, yeah, I ain't going to deal with you no more. Or, yeah, I'm going to do this or
Mm-hmm.
do that. So open
Right.
communication, supporting each other,
Mm-hmm.
reciprocation. You look out for me, I look out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Trust,
Mm-hmm.
giving each other space to shine and be who
Right.
we are fully without
Mm-hmm.
getting offended by it or feeling intimidated by it or envious of it. We need to have confidence. We both have to be confident. We have to be sure of ourselves, secure in who we
Mm-hmm.
are, so that our growth doesn't offend each other. So those are
Right.
just a few things. And I'm still kind of learning that myself. I'm 34, about to be 35, but that's something that I'm still learning. I'm still working on that.
We're not gonna do the age, but we know we over 50 over here. So I'm still learning as
Yeah,
well.
okay. You don't look at that over 30. So you with the
I
30
will
day,
say
you a
that.
millennial. You're a millennial, Miss Penny.
But I think you get opportunities with your friendships and different relationships to
Mm-hmm.
grow in all of the areas. And some of the stuff you may or may not know. You may not. I remember stepping in someplace and it was, another young Black woman. She's doing her thing and this, that, and the other. And I don't know what the feeling was, but I had to address it within myself because she was wonderful.
Mm.
She was wonderful. There was nothing wrong with her. Matter of fact, she was amazing. But then I noticed, like, I was like, oh, there's something in me about this great woman. I need to remember I'm great too, or whatever the heck I needed to do in that
Exactly.
moment, you know,
Exactly.
because
It's enough
sometimes
room for all of us to shine.
exactly. And so, that was a minute, I just need to be aware, so whenever I'm around people, I don't have it come up as much, but, as I was moving along, and there's still moments, I'm not going to say that I'm done with it because that what may be a lie. I say
Same.
that it happened tomorrow.
We are work in progress, but the awareness, I think the
Yes.
awareness and being
Hmm.
able to recognize that is everything, because some people get triggered by
Yeah.
stuff and they
Yeah.
they point outward. It's like, oh, you're the problem. It's you. But no,
Yeah.
baby,
Yeah.
it be us. It be us.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm learning on my journey too. And
Hmm.
it's hard to go inward and do that self-reflection, but it's so important. And it's gonna allow
It's
your friendships to blossom.
and another thing when you were talking about the reciprocity,
Hmm.
learn to be, because I think people in service and that want good for other people sometimes draw in people who are not necessarily reciprocal.
more offline because there's so much I want to say. And I know this is public. This is going to be on YouTube. But we're going to talk more about that offline. Let me write that down as something to
But I think it's a lesson, it's a lesson that we all get a chance to learn. And even with the friendships and, holding things in, because I think, and I'm just going to say, not going to say about you, but for me, what I notice is when you're raised a particular way, for me, because I was raised a particular way, it took me a while to use I have a problem speaking about a whole lot of stuff. But when it came to my stuff, it was a little bit more challenging because you're supposed to be nice, you're supposed to be this, you blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Like all of the things that we're taught to be, especially as women. And then there were so many times where, hey, Xavier Black, this is my friends, that we're taught, that we're supposed to be all of these things. So when it comes to using your voice to advocate for yourself, it's a little bit more. Now we'll advocate for everybody else because everybody knows we got the prayer team together, we'll do all kinds of things for other people, but we are not taught the same way on how to advocate for ourselves or how to speak up for ourselves in certain ways. So so all of the things that you stated, I definitely noticed that, oh yeah, yep, that was a thing, that's a thing, that's a thing. and I've gotten kind of okay with sometimes the conversation is to be had and sometimes you get to love from afar, and just kind of keep it moving because not everybody is ready for the conversation.
Oh, I'm learning that. And I've just told my mother-in-law this the other day. Like, I'm in a season where I'm starting to have those hard conversations. And that's new for me, but I have the hard conversations with people who I value. If I want you in my life, I'm going to put my big girl panties on and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. If I'm really just like,
and I think it's
with you.
I think it's easier when it is vested, because that you are vested with, that because they love you, they're going to listen to a certain, like there's going to be a certain level of respect that they're going to give you.
Exactly.
So that makes that part easier. So yeah.
We're talking about this offline, Miss Penny. We gonna talk.
Like there is a list. There is a
list. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, and once again, if anyone has some questions as we're talking or comment, I do appreciate all the comments thus far. So what would you tell your younger self about how to best prepare for the future?
Oh God, I think about this all the time. And as I'm raising my daughter, those things are coming back up for me. So I'm like, okay, I didn't know these things, but I'm going to make sure she does. And I'm going to also encourage my little self. So I have a few here. First of all, trust yourself. Trust what you are feeling. Don't go against it based on what somebody said or advice you got from somebody else. Trust you because you have the answer. Think long term. Don't be so impulsive all the time. It's okay to be spontaneous. It's okay to have fun, but that can't be your everyday way of thinking. You have to have some type of strategy. You have to have some type of plan in place. You want to think long term. Invest in something. So when you get money, don't just feel like you got to go spend it. You got to go do this, go do that. Actually invest in something that's going to bring back a return. Take the leap. Take the leaps of faith. And that's something that I've been doing anyway. But I would go back and just remind my younger self, keep taking those leaps. Don't be scared. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Don't stay any place too long out of fear or thinking that thinking that things won't work out for you if you leave or if you go. Don't let fear drive your decisions. Don't stay there. And the last thing is rest. Rest. Don't feel like you gotta go. I know we live in a grind culture. Everybody doing this, doing that. You see everybody doing their thing, but it's okay for you to rest. It's okay for you to rest. You're not gonna miss anything. So those are just a few things, and that's actually a conversation that I've been having internally with myself too. Like, what does my younger self need to know? What does my teenage self need to know? What does my child self need to know? So
Mhm.
that I love that question because that's something that I actually been actively doing in my life here recently.
Yeah, and I think I just know like just that experience of not knowing and then having to play everything, by ear. Sometimes we good, sometimes it's like, oh, that was not the right note.
It just be ghetto. It's so ghetto.
That was not the right note.
Trying to figure it all out.
Uh-huh.
But
And
just giving yourself grace. And that's something that you taught me that has really, really stuck with me. Give yourself grace. You're not
mhm,
going to have all the answers. You're not going to
mhm.
get it all right according to what's right
What
for everybody
yeah,
else. Yeah.
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 And the whole, I've always been like in opposition, and I'm saying I have been in opposition, although I have done it, the whole grind thing, that culture that has been like, because we're always raised to keep doing. And
Mhm.
Yolanda Lively said all of those, what you said, and Orchard Glow said, yes, be kind to yourself.
Hold on. I can see the comments right here on the side.
Okay.
Shalonda. That's my sis, Shanae. Oh, here. I love it. Hey, y'all. Come on in. But yeah, all of those. Yes, girl. I had to tell myself that be kind to yourself. Absolutely. If nobody deserves kindness, we do. My daughter wanted to watch 12 Years a Slave today. She loved them old slave movies. She loved movies like that.
Mhm.
I think she might be a politician or something when she grow up, but just watching the things that we have had to overcome and
Right.
endure, thinking about the things we were taught, we have to be kind to ourselves. That's the only thing that's gonna get us through. Because being hard on ourselves it ain't working. It ain't working out good.
And the other thing that you said is about like everybody's personal trajectory. We have this assumption that we are supposed to be whatever, blah, blah, by this age, by this time, by this,
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
and who knows what your journey is supposed to be. And it's not ever supposed to look exactly like no one else's. And
Exactly.
one of the things that I keep having a conversation with myself is like, girl, you made some decisions, so you where you at. And
You preaching to me right now. We'll talk offline. That's enough. Let me write that down. Made some
you,
decisions. We gonna talk about that offline.
so I've made a lot of decisions, and this is where I am, and I have to
Mhm.
kind of be okay with the choices that I made, because
Yep.
whether it was fear, whether it was I just didn't know any better, whether it was once again giving and not necessarily having reciprocal, or staying in my space enough to say, hey, you know what, hold the hell up right here, hold up,
Uh-huh.
I need this for myself. But I've been way more intentional these last few years about making sure that I create that space for myself.
Mm.
Things that I hadn't, done before. Saying yes more than no. I said that this is going to be a yes no year. It's like I get to say no more and I say yes more.
I love that.
That
I
of
love.
limiting what that looks like.
I
And
love
just
that.
trusting. And I think that thing is something too, to be able to trust self, or trust that I'm taken care of, or trust whatever the things that keep showing up for me, that I know better, but I still every now and again like, let me dab over here, and it's familiar, it's
Mm-hmm.
easy, or
Mm-hmm.
say easy, but it's maybe a little bit more comfortable. And so
Ooh, that's a
girl,
word. That's a word. I want to touch on something that you said though, like thinking back to
mhm.
and I know we on a time limit, so I'm gonna try to keep this brief, but
we'll go where how we go, because sometimes it
okay.
goes a little bit over.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. But when you start thinking about the decisions, and this is something that I'm struggling with, and we can talk about this offline too, but thinking
Mhm.
about the decisions. But for me, I struggle between, okay, I made this decision. It's my fault. I gotta lay in the bed
Mhm.
that I made. And well, why didn't anybody teach me any different? Nobody showed up for me to tell me, Geneva, don't do this. Geneva,
Mhm.
that's not wise to do. So that's the struggle that I have, because I feel like somebody gotta pay because they didn't teach me the right way to go. But then I think about everybody in the world, like there's a lot of
Mhm.
people who didn't have that guidance. And the people who are
Right.
raising us, they're just raising us based off the information that they
That they
have. But it's like nobody wants to take accountability and say, okay, I might have messed up and I might have led you astray and you might have end up this way in life because of me. I've never had those type of conversations. And that's, it gets a little deeper than that. But just that's the struggle I'm having, battling between, okay, yeah, I made this decision, but I made this decision because somebody didn't show up or somebody didn't take accountability or somebody didn't show me the way. And I wish I had had that. And how different would my life be if I just had had that support, that guidance, you know, things like that. So that's something that I struggle with. And I'm still trying to work through that. But yeah, we can talk about that more.
Listen, we got a comment. Shalonda, she said, divine timing, all choices will put you where you needed to be to learn, and what life experience
could teach you. And somebody else told me that years ago. Somebody else told me that, and it made me feel a little bit better because I'm like, okay, it was all divine, and it did give me growth, and it gave me the wisdom that I have. But sometimes the little girl in me is just like, I wish.
And I guess I would say half the time you're asking for something that somebody couldn't give. You know, if we look back, you know, so, like they didn't know, so they couldn't. It's not like they had withheld information. It was just they were doing the best that they could, so they didn't know. So you know what I'm saying? Like you can't expect them to do besides what they know to do, and or sometimes because they were ingrained to believe a particular way, they may have been able to share anyway, you know, for whatever their stuff is. You know, some people, you know, darn it, if you say you sorry. I don't know, I always tell people the story. My father said he was sorry to me once and it was in another language. So I'm still, the verdict is still out. I'm not totally sure whether it was sorry.
I do.
It's like, come on here. Yeah, you know, so but you know, but with that, you can hold your younger self and cuddle your younger self about what you receive, because I listen, one of my therapists told me you have to mother yourself. You know, because you know, so because you didn't have it the way that other people had it, that you spend time and you get to mother yourself on those areas, because well, you know what, they may have told you something worse than the bed you was laying in, so who knows.
That's word. We can talk about that offline too, but yeah, that's the word. Because if I get to talking, I'm gonna be talking too much. So let me hush. And yeah, but yeah, definitely.
You know, so we don't really know. So we, you know, as you feel all your feelings, you know me, I'm like, feel them all, because they're not wrong. That's how you feel, and eventually, eventually you get to a space where it's just a little bit lighter, but you do get to feel them all. It's your truth, so there it is. You know, so and not everybody has done the work to just be okay with accountability, responsibility for their behaviors and actions and the impact it has on other people. And because of my dad, though, I have absolutely no problem saying I'm sorry. I can say that shit like left and right. It bothers me none because of that. So so he taught me in his way of being that, ooh, that ain't something I want to do to nobody. You know? And if I did it, you know, it may take me a moment and I may not see it when you say it, you know, because I think that's another thing we expect, because we have this feeling, people have their own thought processes. And so they're not necessarily
that's good.
Feeling or thinking the way that you're thinking when you make a statement about something. So they're like, what are you talking about? And they may need a moment to just like reflect on what's being said. Not that it was, you know, for some, because it's like, what you talking about? That ain't you know, and they'll have this thing. You know, and it's deflection. But I think the more that you have the conversation, people are able to see. And if not, that's I have learned that's between them and God, you know. Let me mind my business. But that's kind of my okay, I can't be engaged in whatever all of that is. That's between you and God, and I gotta move over here. So for whatever that means, and how so you get to nurture that part of yourself, and it, you know, it is the things that you learn because of that. And what if that's what they signed up to do, so you could make the decision you made so that you can be where you are.
TD Jakes has a sermon about that. TD Jakes has a
Yeah.
really good sermon about that, exactly what you said. So yeah,
Mhm.
I agree 100%. It's just something that I'm still working through and working on it myself. I feel it getting better.
Yeah, take your time, honey, because
Honey.
I think when people speed through stuff, sometimes you miss stuff, and it don't mean that it
And
ain't
that's
gonna come back
what
up.
I do. I be trying to hurry up and get the healing out the way. Hurry up and get this stuff out the way, baby. I got stuff to do, but I'm learning there's healing and there's power in feeling it. And you
Mhm.
taught me that. You taught me that too. Like feel the feels, feel them.
Yeah,
I
'cause
remember you told me give yourself a time limit though. Like don't sit
mhm,
there and soak in it forever. Give yourself
yeah,
a time limit and actually do the work. Sorry.
mhm, mhm,
Oh yeah. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, and I still adhere to that. Like, give yourself whatever time and everything else. And depending on, I always say, depending on the offense, is depending on how much time I'm gonna take.
Mm, that's good. That's good right there. That's
You
good.
know, some things, like somebody saying something may not bother me so much, but if it's somebody that's close to me that does something that I feel like is a betrayal, that may take me a little longer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get over it just the same, because we all know
absolutely.
we're gonna get over it. But
It
I
got
just,
a little bit deeper.
yeah, just take your
Hmm.
time, allow yourself to feel, and honor that. And it'll be on your time, not anybody else's. But you already know you're gonna get to the finish line because you already know it's unhealthy otherwise.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah. Oh, I gotta remember that. I gotta remember that on this journey. Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are. Look, thank you for all of the stuff you saying. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Oh yeah.
You know for each other. You know how we do. So yeah.
Okay, so what do you think people would be surprised to know about you?
Okay. Now I know when I say this, the people that's on here that know me, and probably even you're gonna be like, girl, bye. But I'm so serious. I am very shy. Okay. I know I make content, I put myself out there. That's me, like really, really stepping out of my box, stepping out of my shell. I know when I come around people, I'm like, yeah.
Hmm.
But at my core, I am like a little girl that's like, oh my God. I'm very, very shy, but I'm like working through that and I'm trying to just show up and be me. And I think I had a revelation last year that like, girl, do all the things, show up as you are. It's okay.
Hmm.
Nobody gonna beat you up for it. Nobody's gonna take your
Right,
social security number. Like nobody can do nothing to harm you. So it's
right.
okay for you to show up fully, authentically as yourself. So that's one thing. I'm low key a little bit shy. I just
Hmm.
really started putting myself on camera in the past year or two. All
Hmm.
before I was recording Naima and everybody else.
Hmm.
Um, the second thing is the car accident I was in. So the people that
Hmm.
know me, y'all already know about it, but I was in a car accident where I broke my neck. I had a spinal cord injury. I broke my wrist. I had a brachial plexus injury on this arm. So it was basically paralyzed. I couldn't move it. The seatbelt cut my stomach or damaged my stomach. So I had to get my kidney removed, my spleen, and some of my intestines. I was in a wheelchair for a long time. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to use my fine motor skills again. It was my rebirth. That's what I call my rebirth. But when people look at me now, it's just like, oh, girl, you look fine. But exactly, exactly. But there was a time where I couldn't wipe my own tail. I don't want to cuss, but I couldn't wipe my own tail. I couldn't walk. I couldn't feed myself. And I've built myself back up to be able to do those things. So I like to share that so people can know, like, yeah, I'm a walking testimony. I almost wasn't here, and I know you showed up
Yes.
for me during that time. And my girls that's on the live, they
Hmm.
know too. That was my real life. I didn't know if I was gonna survive that. It was bad, but
Yeah.
I'm still here, and you would never know that just by looking at
Looking
me.
at you know,
Yeah.
so the thing that I would say, because I was there, with you during that,
Mhm.
it, to see you today, because it was some moments, where I know that it was honey rough. I couldn't even imagine, and so
And
and I know that it wasn't an easy or and I know it was painful because I knew you were in pain, you know.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
just for you to be, for other people to be able to see you and not know. And the thing that throws me in the mind of just a little bit, I was in a car accident a couple years, almost 2 years ago, and I am still dealing with a concussion, and I'm usually pretty good. However, it's interesting. I've learned, yeah, it wasn't, yeah. So, but
Well,
the thing,
let me write that down too as something for us to talk about online because I didn't know about that. Okay.
but it's something, and it's made me be more mindful about people that,
Mm-hmm.
because initially
Yeah.
my memory and some other stuff was not all of that great. I was still able to work, which was amazing to me. But honey, some of that stuff, I was like, God is good because I don't even.
Well,
But
you
there
know
were
you're
times where,
protected, so it's in you. What you
yeah,
do, it's in you.
yeah.
So you was never gonna lose those skills, those abilities.
So, but there were moments where I was off a little, like it take me a
Mm-hmm.
minute and this, that, all of the stuff. But it's like I
Mm.
had to pay attention, and I wasn't as nice. Let my child tell it. She she on here, there were some things I was like, "Ooh, Jesus, I was a little rough," because now I can see, feel, and see like when things are not necessarily the same way. But looking at me, just like anybody who would look at you, would never even believe the stuff or
Right.
ever. And so I've been more mindful about people with head injuries or whatever, just any stuff, because it's like, oh, I used to be like, are they gonna get that out? But hell, the person sometimes that every now and again may have a moment like, okay, everything is moving back in the right direction. But there were moments where it's like I will sit there and it's like I would just kind of zone the heck out, and I
And that's
couldn't.
something that people can't see. Like I won't be able to see that in
Yeah,
you to know that that's
yeah,
what you're dealing with. So yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. Wow, I'm glad you're
yeah,
back.
yeah.
I'm glad
Me
you're back and feeling like
too.
yourself.
But it's like I said, and I think that you're probably more aware too of other people
Mhm.
because you've been through, it gives you a certain sensitivity when you're around other people.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
I think a different you just end up being a little bit more compassionate.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and I still deal with pain and stuff from that wreck, and it's been almost 8 years.
Ooh.
April will be 8 years. April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be 8 years, and I'm still dealing with like I got some nerve damage still in my hand, and I've been noticing it like jumping automatically and doing some weird stuff. My
Mm-hmm.
stomach tore up. My stomach is tore up to pieces from getting some of my intestines removed. So I'm still feeling the
Mm-hmm.
effects from it. But I'm just grateful that I can still show up
Hmm.
for life and do the things that I
Yeah,
need to do.
yeah. And and because you've shown up, you've shown people that they can show up too.
Yes. Oh, and that's what I love most about it. Like, y'all, if I can
Mm-hmm.
do it, if I can do it, y'all can
Mm-hmm.
do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
good.
so, yes. What would you say motivates you?
Knowing that someone's future breakthrough or something that they might need to hear is dependent upon me showing up in my
Mm,
gift.
mm-hmm.
So sometimes I get in these little modes where I'm like questioning my gift, I'm questioning what I'm doing. And then
Mm-hmm.
somebody will tell me, Geneva, I needed to see what you said. And a lot
Right.
of people, I get so many messages saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll come at a time where I'm like, I don't feel like posting today. I don't feel like speaking my heart today. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'll do it anyway. And then somebody will remind me, like, I needed that.
This is
So exactly. So knowing that somebody's being inspired, somebody's breakthrough is happening through my words, through my gift. That's what
mm-hmm.
motivates me to get up and do what I do every day. And knowing that I have a future lineage that is
Right.
dependent on the work that I'm doing right now in
Mm-hmm.
2026. Naima, if she chooses to have kids, or just Naima,
Right.
period,
Mm-hmm.
her and the rest of our generation, they're dependent on us, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to reap the benefits of the work that we're doing right now. So just knowing that and remembering that, that's what motivates me. That's what makes me get up. And just knowing that I already got a vision of how my life's supposed to look and how I want it to look.
Right.
That's what made me get up every day. That's what made me get up. So yeah, sorry, my gratitude alarm keep going off. Sorry. All right. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because I think, like you were saying, like even pushing through sometimes, even when you don't feel like it, when you do have the message, and I'm like, oh, Latricia, you need to do that more often. Because I'm good for figuring out the balance between um, rest and allowing myself to rest. So I
Mhm.
moved out of my office, and so that's kind of like a step to, yeah. I never really slowed down after the accident, and I needed to have slowed down. I think that kind of hindered my healing process, and so
Oh,
there are
okay.
things that I would like to do. So I'm like, if I, can encourage, and then I'm just sitting here chilling, twiddling my thumbs. I'm like,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, so let's start. And it started kind of last year when I started doing this because this has always been a thing, that I wanted to do. And I was on vacation with some friends, and I was like, I'm gonna just. And my friend was like, I'll be your first guest. I was like, okay, cool. And it just kind of, like some of the things that just kind of visit us, it remind us like, oh, there may be some other areas that I want to embark on as well.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it fills me up different because I love talking to people about their lives and how everybody has a story, you know,
Yes. Yes.
like, and you don't know what any of these people who could say, whatever they say that may be the right thing for the right person at the right time, just
Yep.
on life, because so many people don't share their story. So,
That's
or
true.
think that
Oh,
they
that's
have like that, so I like the young, the old, the white, the black, what everybody got something, that hits on something else that somebody may need. So I've been just enjoying this process of talking to people about, the same questions, even because everybody got their own answer.
yeah. You make it
You
so
could,
comfortable though. You make it so comfortable, and you've always been like a safe space. I've always felt like there's no judgment. It's just you listening and giving feedback, like real feedback. So
thank
I can appreciate that, and you walking in your gift, and I've been seeing you do it for 11 years now. So just to see how much you've grown, and then I know that you joke around about not being tech savvy and stuff like that, but you have created a whole podcast. You figured out how to stream it on different platforms. You figured out different questions to ask people. So you on your way. You doing it. You doing all the things.
Look,
You
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it all, girl. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm
Like, go
so
ahead, talk
proud
to
of
me too.
you. I'm so proud of you.
So I'm like, hey, it's gonna get worked out. The child gets called every so often, like, girl, help me with this.
Thank you very much. Thank you for helping your mama because we love these conversations. Okay.
Yeah. So, and another one that I do with a couple of friends of mine, which is Xavier Black, if he's still on here, and a friend of mine, Sherman, we call 6 to 12 Eyes. So we all went to. I've known DeAndre since high school, and Sherman I met in college. So we just talk about different topics once a month. So
Oh,
and yeah, so it's like, oh, this is something I enjoy too.
me too.
Yeah,
Y'all
and that.
listen. Y'all gotta listen to Miss Penny. The people that are on my people. She has so much wisdom. She is the bomb. She has so much wisdom, so much insight. It just felt like a hug from like a
Oh,
big sister, mama, auntie. It's been like that since I've known you, and I've watched some of your collaborative conversations with others, and I just love it. Like it's you always just showing up, giving that wisdom, and letting people know it's okay. Like wherever you are in your journey, it's okay. You're gonna make it to where you're trying to make it to. But while you're here, it's okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the journey. I think sometimes we get so hard on ourselves about what the journey ends up looking like. Sometimes,
Ooh, preach to me. Preach to me
you
right
know.
now.
you know Sometimes we get a little, like, oh, I didn't think it was going to have this many damn terms. I thought it was going to go on a straight road. Who said that I wanted to go in the valley? I didn't even know there was a valley there. Like,
Listen, let me write that down too, because that's another thing we need to talk about offline. Because baby, yeah,
you
yeah,
know but I think just all of us just kind of enjoy, like learning to laugh at it, learning to move through it, learning to just kind of put
mhm,
it and know that, hey, this is some of my stuff. Like I've gotten real okay with some of the stuff. like just, oh, this is my thing and I have to pay attention to it. And, sometimes being stubborn helps me. Sometimes it doesn't. I get to choose my battles with it, but it's a thing. I'm going to keep some of it now. I ain't going to never not be,
Exactly.
but I
Exactly.
get to swim with it a little bit different, I say swim when I can't swim, but you get the idea.
We here. I got you. I got
We
you.
love the waves.
I love it.
So, okay, so some of the comments, but God, I think Shalonda was responding. She had the hearts and the tear eyes around, I think when you were talking about when you were in the hospital and just your journey back from that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
McMillan just chilling. Is that Kendrick?
Hey guys, he downstairs. He downstairs listening.
He said, y'all don't look like what y'all been through. Thank you.
Oh,
Orchard Glow said your empathy increases after you have fought different battles. And that is
that is so
absolutely
true. It is so
and,
true. Yes, it is.
and then Xavier, he said, don't let her fool you. She's brilliant. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I know she is. I know she is. I knew from day one when I met her. I'm like, she's a freaking genius. She's a genius.
Oh.
I already know.
So, is there anything that you feel like that people misunderstand about you?
Yeah, I think people look at me, and I definitely want to say this publicly on YouTube with everybody here, because I've been getting this comment a lot lately. A lot. I had two conversations Sunday, and two people said this, and I've heard it so much. But a lot of people say, Geneva, you look like you have your life together. You look like you just got all the answers, like you just got it figured out. And I want to say, it's not that I haven't figured out. I have learned to be in peace in all circumstances. Whatever I'm going through, I'm going to be at peace. So it's going to look like I got it all together because nothing can steal my joy. I'm on my path to peace, and I want to be in peace no matter what is going on around me. So yes, I look like I got it all together because I'm in peace. I'm in peace doing these things. I'm showing y'all my real life. I show y'all the hard days when I've been crying all day and I had to pick myself up and I got to take a shower and force myself to do those things. I'm showing the good and the bad. So I don't have it all figured out. But as I'm going on my path, as I'm journeying on my path, I'm in peace doing all of this. I'm going to find joy in the little things. I'm going to have fun regardless. I can have $6 or $6 million to my name. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get from me. So now I take that back, because if I had 6 million, there will be signs. There will be signs. There will be signs.
Say the world may know a little bit.
Exactly. Y'all might know a little something. But overall, I can have $6, $6 million. This is what you're going to get. I'm always going to be at peace. That is my goal. So I don't have it all together. And I wanted to say that publicly because I've been getting that comment a lot. Like, girl, and somebody texted me from our homeschool page. Somebody reached out and they said, forgive me for sharing this, I'm not going to put a name on it, but they were like, I was a little intimidated to reach out to you because it seemed like you just that girl, like you just got it all together. I'm like, girl, we in the same boat. Like, I'm figuring this out along the way, and I'm just sharing as I go. And you taught me that, Miss Penny. You don't have to be perfect and polished to still show up, to still help people, to still be in your gift. So yeah, I don't have it all together, but I'm at peace with what I am doing and the journey that I'm on. I'm at peace with it. So it's going to look like I got it all together.
And that's the thing too, like when you do get to a certain level of peace, yeah, you don't leave it. You anything that kind of feel like it's trying to disrupt it, anything, like, so I think like there's only so much that you're going to engage with some of the other stuff, because once you find peace, it's like, oh yeah, that ain't worth it. Oh yeah, that ain't worth it.
I want to stay in that. So anything that's going to take me out of it, it don't even matter to me no more. I'm trying to stay here in this peaceful bubble. I don't care what's going on around me. My peace going to always be there. So yeah, that's what's getting me through. And that's why it looked like I got it all together.
Well, I will say, look, You look like you got it all together. No, but with that,
Maybelline. I got a little Maybelline on now. I did a little something to my hair or whatever. But if y'all had saw me Sunday, I looked a mess. My hair was sticking up on top of my head like this. I had a nightgown on. I needed to shower. I looked a mess. But I'm gonna always look my best. I'm gonna always look my best when it comes to presenting myself to the public. So that could be why too people think that I got it all together. And the clothes I wear and the stuff I can get all that stuff for free. So I ain't spending no money on that stuff. So it's just like you see what you see, but it's stuff in the background that you don't see.
Yeah. And I think the thing with you too is that you're honest and you present, so you don't ever make it anything that it isn't. But I think what I would say, and some people may not like what I'm about to say, and I'm okay with that too. But I think of other things like certain like housewife shows and stuff like that there's a presentation not necessarily as authentic.
Right. Exactly.
And so I
that in the ugly with me.
So I think that, that there's a presentation of where people are or what they do, and then how they behave with other people. And unfortunately, I think that's why people may, not want to reach out or not want to do this, because it's not programming you that you can't, because of how snooty some people act to other people and some of that other stuff. So if you're, I'm always about what you feed yourself. And if you're seeing the people and they are not as welcoming, then you kind of start thinking of certain people when they get to a certain place aren't as welcoming, because that's what
total opposite. I'm the total opposite. People who know me at my core, I am the most non-judgmental person you will ever meet, baby. I don't care what you got going on. I'm just here to be whatever I'm supposed to be in your world. I'm here for that. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to act like I'm better than anybody at all. And that's I've always been like that. And I'm gonna still be like that no matter how far I go in life. That's just gonna always be me.
Yeah. And like I said, you've always been authentically, like you've just been yourself the whole time.
Real, it's not real.
Yeah. All the time. What would you say that you're the most proud of or grateful for?
I'm most proud of the books that I published. And you showed my book earlier, and I was laughing when you first showed it, because I was like, do I want to say that? Is that vain?
If you don't, I will. No.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
It's marketing.
Get me. Okay. I'm proud of my books. I'm so proud of my books because, for one, writing has always been my safe space since I was a little girl. That's what I did. When I couldn't talk to nobody, when I was feeling things and didn't understand what it was, I would pick that journal up and just get to writing. And when Keon passed away, I just knew in my heart I had to get out what I was feeling, what I was thinking. I had to get it out. And I'm thankful for those books, because this is work that is going to live beyond me. So 100 years from now, hopefully people will be talking about rebirth, and life after death will be a guide for people who are going through child loss. They can read my work and say, okay, this is what this mom did. This is how she got through that. So I'm prayerfully, my work will outlive me. That's one of my proudest accomplishments, because I saw the vision in my head, and to actually bring it to fruition I can't believe I did it. But I knew I would. So I would say my books, the content that I've created, the ripple effect that I've created online and in my journey, people still, and like I'm telling you, there's things that you used to tell me that still ring in my head. People tell me that too. Like, you said this to me 5 years ago, and I never forgot about it. And I'm so proud of that, because I feel the impact that I'm making now. I see it now. I didn't see it all before, but I'm seeing it now.
Yes, because we've gone viral, haven't we?
A few times. But a few times. A few times. And I've seen that. I always saw that for myself. Matter of fact, the end of 2024, God put it on my heart. God showed me. I had a dream about it. I had a dream that I went viral. And right after that, I did, and it just kept happening, kept happening, kept happening. So, and not every video I post goes viral, but there have been a lot. There have been a lot. So being able to reach more than 6 million, it's 6 point something million total views that I've had amongst all my platforms. So, and that's been my dream to touch millions of people. So to be able to do that is a blessing, and I don't take it lightly. And I feel I feel a different sense of responsibility now too, because I'm like, okay, I just can't be on here saying all kind of BS. Now I gotta be for real. People are actually looking, and they taking notes, and they listening to what I'm saying. So I'm learning how to be more responsible with that too now.
I don't, unless I miss some, which, every now and again, the algorithm do what the algorithm do. So I have to go and like something so I can see their stuff again. But I haven't noticed you being reckless, even with your fun. I've never noticed that you were needing to oh my gosh, I can't say that, or I need to, bring this in.
You're different. Of course, it's not gonna be reckless to you. Like my little gardening drinks that I do. A church must see that and say, Geneva, why is you showing this? Why is you showing this on social media? Why is you influencing people to try these on social media? I've gotten some comments.
Okay, so what I would say, if they listening to this, what I will say is, because I listened to the other podcast that you had. What was the podcast you was on?
Bluntly Black Girls.
Bluntly Black Girls. That you have a story even for that, because of and everything else that you had gone through. And so and I would say some people need a dang on garden and drink their damn self just to
that's what I be about to tell them. Like, try it. If you try it, you wouldn't be worried about me and what I'm doing. But I've gotten a lot of good feedback, but I've gotten some feedback like, Geneva, why are you telling our family business? Why are you talking about this online? Because I've been transparent about my family journey, about my adoption story. But the people who really truly matter, they haven't had an issue with anything that I've said. So
And so I just want to encourage you to continue to be yourself, because there are so many people who need that message.
I know.
The message that they want to, kind of censor and this, that, and the other, because they're uncomfortable with the truth. That's not, because that ain't got nothing to do with just because you don't want to tell the truth. Don't get mad at me for telling it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what my response was when I got a little comment like that. Like, why you on business?
And that's the truth. And the other piece is, that's been a thing in our community for a long time, that everybody's been so concerned about this appearance, but we got all of this going on underneath. So can we be real about all of the stuff? Because that's what stops the crazy stuff underneath, is when you address it. Whenever you bring anything out of dark into the light, it has to change. It has to.
And I'm all about that.
Yeah. So it's like, when people say that, it's like, okay, well, you don't do it. Okay, you don't,
it almost made me stop. Like, some of the comments that I've got, it almost made me be like, well, dang, am I wrong for sharing that? Am I wrong for saying that? And I was questioning myself. But then I get so much feedback that's like, I needed to hear that. My family is going through the same thing. I went through this too. Continue to share. And what you're saying right now, pointing to me, I appreciate that, because that's one thing that I do struggle with as a content creator, just knowing, like, I know it's meant for me to share my story, but then sometimes I hold back because I'm like, well, I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want nobody to get mad at me or think that I'm telling family business or whatever. So it's been a balance, trying to balance that.
Well, everything is going to be through your eyes and your experience. So they can't tell you what your eyes saw. They can't tell you experience. Yeah, for whatever the experience is. So, I get a little protective. I think, I get protective sometimes. I'm like, well, who the hell they said they better not, who are they?
We'll talk offline. But yeah, I done had to work through that, trying to figure out, like.
And I had a cousin that did something similar about our family, and she said that she got a lot of feedback. I was always positive because she put a whole lot of stuff on blast. And I'm like, for our family that doesn't encourage speaking out, I didn't do nothing give her praises. So yes, it's very uncomfortable for her to say all of the stuff, but I was always in her comments, giving her hearts, letting her know that I support
I love
her
it.
because wasn't nobody else doing it. They were trying to silence her truth. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
let's not let's not do that, because there are these things that happen in the family that sometimes
Exactly.
need to be addressed, acknowledged. And it's like, and it don't mean that we love anybody any less, but hell, let's call a spade a spade. Let's not do that.
That part, because I'm going to
Mhm.
tell my story, but I'm going to still keep your dignity intact. I'm not going to go in like I really could, but I'm still going to
Yeah,
I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share what I went through. This is
right.
my story. This is my journey. So yeah, thank you for that. I really needed
Yeah.
to hear that.
Honey, because I'm just saying, because that's how change happens, and that's how
Yeah.
some of the stuff in the family starts. Once one person speak, then like you said, you'll get a DM or you'll get this, and somebody like, dang, I ain't know this, or yeah, I experienced this too.
Mhm.
Yeah, hey, data, like, you got a whole amen corner that you ain't even know that was in the family.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank y'all. If you
Yeah,
watching this, you've been one of those people that encouraged me throughout my journey. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you. It
yeah,
means a lot to me, and I be needing to hear that sometimes. So thank you.
yeah. I can get in the part with other people's stuff, but going back to what we were talking before, everybody kind of have their own thing and was raised a particular way, and so
Mhm.
they have shame or they have guilt, but that's not yours. And
That's
sometimes,
a word. That's a
you
word.
know
That
that
thing.
because they didn't make choices to do stuff different, for whatever their reason were. Yeah, I'm not judging them either. It's
Exactly.
hard to do
Exactly.
different when you've been taught a thing. And
Yeah.
so for whatever that is, we hope that they Godspeed with them, that they can, that they can,
Exactly. I'm just,
go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna give it to God. Give it to God, and
Right.
keep doing my thing. Yeah.
Because that's not on you to not be honest, because that's what your whole thing is, being authentic. So if they trying
Exactly.
to shut down it's like that Lauren Hill thing. When she was that live CD, the little CD that she did, when she was like, "What you want me to have?" Like, I forgot the number she used, but she said, "What, you just want 25% of me and 75% out the door, or whatever." Like,
Yep,
you gotta be
yep. I was
your
just
whole
listening
self.
to that the other day, like a couple weeks ago. It was when she was on Unplugged. Was it Unplugged or
Yes, yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes. That's
I was
what that's
just
all.
listening to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shanae said it's hard to heal from the things you won't talk about. Exact. And since you
Yeah.
know me, I'm gonna tell all the family business, and it's not me being malicious. It's just me
Hmm.
sharing my truth, because I am the family business. I was the family secret, so I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it.
Yeah. Yep. And we got hearts and butterflies from the beauty beyond the mirror.
God, I love that my girls done pulled up to the
Yes,
party.
yes.
Welcome in, y'all.
So, so what do you do to assist you with overcoming challenges, would you say?
Well, I mentioned this earlier, but I journal a lot. Like I got my journal right here sitting in
Mm-hmm.
front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I journal a lot. I have like 20, 30 journals in a box that I plan to give
Mm-hmm.
Naima one of these days. But
Uh-huh.
I journal a lot.
Uh-huh.
I document my journey. I make videos like today is January 13th and this is how I'm feeling. I don't always post those, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
document my journey just to have receipts to look back on. And I am a nature girly. So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to go out in nature. I'm going to go by the water. I'm going to go to
Mm-hmm.
the mountains. I'm going to hike. That's
Mm-hmm.
my way to replenish myself. That's my way to connect with God. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I take care of me. There's a lot of things that I do, but I'm very intentional now in my 30s. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very intentional about making sure I'm filling my cup up, because
Mm-hmm.
I know in the capacity that I serve in, I can't do this from an empty cup. So I gotta make sure that
Right.
my cup is full and I'm serving from my overflow.
Mm-hmm.
So anything. I mean, I find joy in sometimes just turning on music, doing my makeup, doing my hair, even if I'm not going anywhere, but just little things that make me feel good. Getting dressed,
Mm-hmm.
praying. I do a lot of
Right.
praying, a lot of talking to
Mm-hmm.
God. I'm trying to get better with reaching out to people when I'm
Mm-hmm.
going through, when I'm having a challenge, to try to get some
Mm-hmm.
feedback or some advice. but I'm just so stuck on trusting my inner guidance that
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I don't need to reach out, but I know that I have community who love me, who want to help me, who want to support me. So those are some of the things that I do when I'm going through challenges, and just knowing that it's going to pass, knowing that it's going to be all right, envisioning myself getting through it, envisioning myself on the other side of it.
Nice. There's a comment with the beauty beyond the mirror. She said there's healing in the conversation. And says so happy to be here and absolutely must serve from your overflow.
You already know. You already know, sis. You already know. So, and that's another thing you taught me, Miss Penny. I feel like who I am in my 30s, a lot of it came from our sessions back in my 20s. And I still got a journal with our notes from our sessions. From our sessions that I look back on every now and again. So
nice. Yeah. Listen, I needed to listen to my own advice more. So there's that.
I'm like, girl, you giving people all this great advice. When did you go listen to it? When did you go listen to it? I have to go back and look at my video sometime and be like, okay. And take notes.
Yeah. You know, and I had to like, okay. And I think that was, to me, I feel like the accident was my slowdown, my reset. You know, if I, as I am, I'm not going to say if I would have, as I am recognizing, I knew as soon as I got in it, that's what it was. Like, it wasn't even a question to me, that I needed to kind of be still a little bit more and that I needed to replenish. And it gave me, you know, that time to slow down just a little bit, or just, even if I wasn't slowing all the way down, but it made me like, girl, there's some things that you need to do. It's time for a change.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, let me honor this, because we don't want no other, like, we don't need nothing else. Thank you.
And that's for me to listen. That will happen. That'll be like, boom, here goes something else. Since you ain't want to listen to me the first time, here goes something else for you.
I'm like, I'm making slow strides. Give me peace.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I feel that. We can talk more about that offline too, because baby, I'm glad you're here though, Miss Penny. I would have been absolutely devastated, absolutely heartbroken. And I didn't even know. I don't know why I didn't know that you got into a wreck.
I didn't remember. I didn't do if I said I would mention it in some of the conversations that I've had, but I didn't like get online and say, oh, I was in an accident or whatever. Because if you was to look at me, you would have never known, because it was like
exactly like what we were just talking about. Yeah.
So like, even though my car was kind of jacked up and all that other stuff, like if you were to look at me right after, I didn't look any different. I didn't have no bruises and that kind of stuff. But honey, this old concussion thing, girl, that thing for real.
Well, you look amazing. You sound amazing. You still are the Miss Penny that I remember, just even more evolved, more graceful than ever before. You look amazing. So I'm just thankful. And you can see God's hand in your life through, and you doing the work, and you still are showing up and being who you are. So I love it. I'm glad that it awakened you to know that you needed to rest and calm down and slow down.
Honey, and I'm grateful. And I'm always good for the naps. So I ain't never have really a problem with like naps and all of that other stuff. I've been taking naps since I was in college. So, but I am really, honey, I am the official nap day is Sunday. You know, that's when you get the longer one in. But any other time I can get
my sis on here, Shanae. She is the one that put me on that. I remember her telling me a while back, like Sundays were her husband's rest day. And that has stuck with me too. So Sunday, I feel you on that.
Or whatever day you choose. But I get naps anytime. And I've had to sometimes, because like if I have a longer day or what have you, I'll still have the pressure. And it's like, okay, yeah, I need a nap, or I need some, ice on my head. And ginkgo biloba has been my friend. Once I remembered that was good for memory, that has been a thing.
Oh, what is it? Say to you?
Ginkgo biloba is good for memory. So I've been like,
okay, I'm writing it down.
My little natural stuff. So.
I love that. I love that. Shakira said, "You do look amazing. It's the grace and favor." Yes, my Miss Penny is mission. Okay, So, sis, the other day when you was live and you was talking about like wrapping your hair and stuff, this is who I said taught me about that. So I left a comment. Shakira, the Beauty Beyond the Mirror, she goes live on TikTok sometimes, and I came in on her live when she was talking about her wrapping her hair for work. And I said, my old therapist told me about that. I literally just said this Friday. And this is who I was talking about, sis. This is the person I was talking about that told me about the head wraps.
Nice. Oh, see, don't it just all line up? Amen.
Yeah, every time.
Nice. So we are at the end. We have it's a little after 9, so we did pretty good. Sometimes I go way over, sometimes, it just kind of depends. But there's one more question, it's actually kind of like, is there anything that you would like to promote or words of encouragement that you would like to give?
I just want to give some words of encouragement. Y'all can find me on TikTok, Instagram _ My Path to Peace. Come on and follow me. If you want to laugh, if you want to cry, if you want to heal, if you want to get a good life gem, if you want to see my journey of healing, you can follow me over there. My nonprofit organization, My Path to Peace. We just got our 501c3 status in October. So there's more to come on that. I just met with my board Saturday, so we got some things in that space. So I'll keep y'all posted on that. But the word of encouragement, this came to me today while I was preparing this. But if you are someone who, and this is for me too, if you are someone who is in uncharted territory right now, you may be starting over, you may be in a new season of your life, a new era. Trust yourself, trust where you are going, trust that everything that's happening right now, it's like a story that's unfolding, and you're going to come out on the other side and you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. And the dots are going to start connecting. So I know it's going to be some days when you get discouraged. It's going to be some days when you're questioning, what am I doing? It's going to be some days where you feel like you don't know what you're doing. And you may not, but it's okay. It's okay. All roads are going to lead to the same destination. You're never on the wrong path. It may get a little uncomfortable sometimes, and you might got to divert and go over to another lane, go over on another street. But all roads are going to ultimately lead to that same destination. So keep your head up, stay focused, listen here, find a balance between listening to the two, and just keep going. Just keep going, keep shining. Do the things that God is putting on your heart to do. And you're going to start getting the little breadcrumbs along the way and the little confirmations that keep you going. So don't let what you see with your eyes discourage you or throw you off your path. Go by what you feel and hear. And I'm going to drop the mic. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Yes, listen, I am so grateful because I have you, and then on my next one in 2 weeks, I get to speak with your husband. So, like, how freaking!
I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to hear it. He has been through a whole, I can't wait for you to catch up with him because you're going to be like, oh my gosh.
I've been seeing him, and I'm like, okay, I see you, sir, author as well. What?
Yes, he is doing his thing, Miss Penny. I'm so proud of him, and just to see both of us, and not to toot my own horn, but just to see our growth, knowing how I came into your office broken 11 years ago, and not knowing how I was gonna survive what was happening in our lives. And I've shared some deep stuff with you, and just being able to still be here and be doing what we're doing now. You can't tell me God ain't real. You can't tell me God ain't real. It's been a journey. So yeah, I'm looking forward for that. I can't wait. I can't wait for him to jump on and share his wisdom. Because he ain't really a talker like that, but he's coming out of his
I was so proud when he said yes, and it was right before his birthday. I was like,
that's what he said. He was like, I'm gonna do this for my birthday. Like, this gonna be, because he was gonna do it in February, but he was like, nah, I'm gonna bring my birthday in with this. I said, yeah, go ahead, do it. Yep.
Oh, so his new year about to be on.
Yes.
Because he's stepping out on a different. Okay, I see you. I see you. Yes.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Look, he's commenting. I'm trying. Come on, bro.
Yes,
It's
and I
6 in the morning, girl. Thank you, boo.
yes, and I will toot 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 toot, because why not? I think
Yes.
that there's a thing with that too, that we were always taught that you don't want to be boastful or prideful, but if you just saying what you done did, is that being boastful? It ain't like
No,
you lying.
it's just sharing your truth. It's sharing your truth. It's sharing who you are. It's never
I
from a
mean,
place of arrogance.
right, and it's just the whole story, because you do have good, and you've also talked about the stuff that wasn't so
Mhm.
fantastic. So
Yes,
I
absolutely.
was just kind of being honest that you can make it, and being excited about that, like,
Yes.
because never comes, like I said, you're so who you are and authentic and is pure, that it's not ever coming at a without the you can do this too. You know what I'm saying? Every time you do that, it's more like, come on, you could do this too.
Relatable. It's relatable. I shared my
Yeah,
L's for 10 years straight. I was on the internet
right.
depressed, crying, and people didn't meet me during that time. So people who are meeting me now are like, oh, she thinks she does. No, I don't. Go back and look at some of
Uh-huh.
my old videos. Go back and
But
see me in shambles and you'll see the journey.
and the other piece is, okay, and yes, I am that.
I need
Because
to I need to I need to screenshot that clip right there and put that and pin that on all my social media platforms. Like, yeah, y'all heard.
like, I may not say it, I may be a little bashful, but she said it for me.
Yeah, Missy, I done got
But
Miss Penny to co-sign. Like, yeah, she know. But you've seen the journey. You've seen the journey,
yeah,
so you
but
know what it's looked like for us.
and what I will say is what I was saying earlier. When they say that to you, that's their stuff.
That's
Like when
them,
I
yeah.
saw a woman
Mhm.
who was wherever we was at, and I had a feeling that was my stuff. That had nothing to do with her. So what I would say, because of who you are, they can say whatever, but they get a chance to look at themselves about what's their why for that.
Yeah.
What's you know what I'm saying? Like, you got so much to say, but what's your why for that?
Yeah. What
You
is
don't
it?
try to put people down. You don't do anything but encourage people, and you laugh and you have fun, and you found peace through all of the stuff, and it's some stuff, like, yes, I am. I sure am. I'm that. Shit,
So
I
maybe
earned all of
I need
this.
to start popping my ish. I need to start popping my ish even
Just a
more.
little bit,
That
just a
was,
little bit.
I'm just playing.
Just a little,
I
just a
love
little.
this.
I
Oh,
wouldn't be
this
mad.
is wonderful. I feel so full. I feel this was everything. This was everything. I was a little nervous early today, but I was like, oh, this me and Miss Penny. We good. We
Yeah,
got it. This was
you know.
great.
And like I said, I appreciate you making time, because I know that you're busy and everything else, and sharing your story, because I know it can be helpful to other people. It has been. And so, and like I said, I like talking to people, real people with real
Yeah.
experiences, because you just don't know the gems that come from people. Like, you just don't know what things are. And that's why I keep my questions the same, and wherever it go. But everybody has a different answer.
They
There's
were
never
great.
been, you know,
The questions
some
were great. And they were thought provoking for me. And they're questions that I'm going to still reflect on even after this conversation. And I said, we're going to talk offline about a couple
yes,
things. But
yes.
yeah,
So
this is
we are
great.
coming to the end of the stream. I want to thank everyone who came on. It will be on YouTube afterwards. I think you can probably still access the link and go to it. And just thank you all for being here and interacting. And we're going to sign off. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a blessed week. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you to my
Peace
girl
out.
jumping on. I love y'all. Love y'all
Yeah.
down. And thank you, Miss Penny. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
All right.
Peace.